On the line is Brad Gray. Brad, what can punters expect in terms of track conditions in Sydney today?
Yeah, good morning, Matt. It was a stunning day here in Sydney, so fingers crossed the racing lives up to that. As far as the track goes, we're at good 4 at the moment. There is a thought that we could be playing on a good 3 with an upgrade potentially throughout the day. Rails out 3, Rosehill Gardens, that generally means a really fair track, so every runner should certainly get their chance.
Okay, that is noted. Thank you. Let's talk about the Group 1 Golden Rose. We're going to take a look at this market now. What do you make of it?
Yeah, race 7 on the card. It's not a bad little race. Chris Waller obviously has a really strong hand. We lost the designated leader this morning, so what that does for the race, I'll have to nut out a little bit over the next couple of hours or so, but that jonker came out with an elevated temperature. Maybe that plays against a horse like the Autumn Sun. He's going to be out the back and charging on. So Graf is your current favourite, I think a deserved one. He's the one I lean to by default. He's number 4 in the field, and the reason is he's just ticked every box. So we've seen him twice so far this prep. He won the San Domenico first up, then he ran a really brave second in the run to the Rose. He was beaten by a Lean Mean Machine at the finish, but he travelled wide the trip and was really brave there, made a big run from the 4 to the 2 and then just peaked on his run. No knock on Lean Mean Machine, I'd just like to see him do it again. He was a dominant winner, as we touched on there in the run to the Rose, really surged that last 200 metres. He's just got to get back on top of the ground and show that same turn of foot. The Autumn Sun does look like a horse that's looking for a little bit further, so I think they've had a bit of a throw at the stumps here. They've thrown the blinkers on, trying to sharpen him up, but he's going to really come into his own as he gets out over further. And the noise around Zusane is still there. The jungle drums were really beating there before the run to the Rose. The camp were extremely bullish. J-Mac saying he's a potential superstar. The wheels just spun in the wet. So seeing him back on top of the ground, we could see a completely different beast. As far as the bit of value goes, I think if the punters are playing the multiples, certainly include the 10. Tchaikovsky slipped under the radar a little bit for the Snowden camp. He ran okay in the San Domenico and has trialled really well since. So really tricky race, but I do lean the way of Graf with the value being Tchaikovsky, the 10.
The Autumn Sun clearly has a sizable rap on him. When do you think we're going to see the best of this horse? At what sort of trip, on what sort of track?
Yeah, good question. Well, I know he is a colt, so they're really trying to build that stallion profile, but if he wasn't, I'd certainly be suggesting that he'd already be getting out in trip. He might be running in a race like the Gloaming today, which is on the same card. I know that Chris Waller is eyeing up the Derby eventually, so maybe he'll even come into his own as he gets out to a staying trip. So what he's doing here over these shorter distances suggests he's a very classy animal. It's just whether they leave him a little bit flat-footed. There's no doubt he'll be the one steaming home at the end, though.
Right, talk to me about your suggested bets today.
Yeah, okay, so we've got a couple. We're opening the batting nice and early. In the first, I think, is the best of the day, and that's Quackerjack, race 1, number 3 for Mark Noonan. This horse had no luck at all there first up, but still ran some really handy splits home despite a really interrupted passage. Josh Parr there had to really put the handbrake on the last 150 metres. He just never got a crack at his rivals. I think he maps to still a lot closer in this. Brenton Abdullah takes the ride. He's found a really winnable race there on the first of the day. I think he's shopping at about $5, and there's a little bit of a query for me around the 1. That's Gemsong. He's the early favourite, so I think we're getting a bit of value about the 3 Quackerjack, because Gemsong's a horse that profiles like he wants a little bit further now, tackling the 1,300 metres again, second up, which is what he tackled there first up. So Quackerjack, the best of the day, race 1, number 3.
All right, $5.50 a price around that, and Young Star in race number 5, runner number 6 at $3.20. Brad, thanks so much for your time this morning. Enjoy your day.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Good luck to the punters having a play there at Rosehill.